The season is winding down in the Mountain Dew ATV National Motocross Series, so Joel Hetrick on the number 88 needs to get rolling to get back into title contention. And roll he did, to a dominant first Moto victory at our last race in upstate New York in Unadilla. And then in Moto 2, he got out front early and dominated again, making up big championship points on series leader Chad Wienen. If the big ups and downs of Unadilla couldn't stop Hetrick, what about the deep sandy soil this week at Redbud? The 88 hopes to keep the momentum going. Welcome to Redbud here in Buchanan, Michigan for round 10 of the Mountain Dew ATV National Motocross Championship sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. Redbud, very famous for hosting the big one for the bikes on 4th of July weekend, but this late summer classic presented by Concept Haulers, the Redbud National, should be very good for the four-wheeled set and a huge crowd, as always, on hand. Why is the crowd so big? Why do the riders like it so much? Well, not only is the infield a great place to hang out, but the track is prepped up perfectly, and the riders believe it's the best combination. You've got ups and down hills, great soil, big jumps. It doesn't get much better than summertime in the Midwest. Pro riders on hand signing some autographs. Ronnie Higgerson here, going to meet some of the fans. This is Jeff Rastrelli, couple of podium finishes this year, would like another one to end the year strong. And we love having the international contingent, the 68 of Nicholas Cavagliasso, racing today both in the Pro-Am class and in the Pro class, which we'll have coverage for right here. Oh yes, and injuries are sometimes part of the deal, so you might as well immortalize the cast with an autograph. They're having some fun over there in Jesse Barnes' pits. But the big stars, Joel Hetrick. As we mentioned in the opener, he swept our last race at Unadilla, which gives him an outside shot at this title.
Heading into the last two rounds, I'm 15 points down. I got a lot of pressure I put on myself, really. I know what I have to do to win. It's pretty much I got to win all the next four motos, and Chad has to have 2 third places or 1 fourth, and that's tough for him to do. There's not a lot of people that can go out there and just beat Chad, but anything could happen. I'm still gonna go out there and just race my own race and put my head down and run solid laps and really not worry about the points and just have fun. And I'm looking to get on top of the box here at Redbud.
And here's the man that does not want Hetrick to do that. 3-time and defending champion Chad Wienen trying to hold on to this number 1 plate. Been a little bit closer this year than the last few.
All right, here we are here at Redbud, my favorite track of the year, and had a lot of success here. I've been able to sew up championships here in the past, and this year we've had a lot of competition, and yeah, there's definitely pressure to go get the championship, but man, it's my favorite track, so I'm pumped. Went with the 1-1 last year, and this year it's looking great. Yesterday's practice looked really rough, and it's right up my alley. So I'm really excited about that and really confident. And I know that my Wienen Motorsports Yamaha is going to be a contender this weekend, and maybe pull a couple good hole shots. And last year I pulled a hole shot here, so it'll be a big help start out front and try and get a lead from start to finish.
Well, the rough sandy track seemed to favor the very tall Wienen. We'll see if he can hold off Hetrick's charge. We're going to have qualifying and then racing after this. Racer TV is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by Rocky Mountain, ATVMC.com, and by Amsoil. There's Amy Ritchie, one of the track owner and operators here at Redbud. I'm Jason Wygant, your host for Racer TV here on MavTV. Qualifying now underway for our four-wheeled ATV pilots for the Mountain Dew ATV Nationals. There's Chad Wienen, a little over 4 hours from Galena, Illinois, his home, to right here in Buchanan, Michigan. 4 hours makes it a local race by racing standards. For him, he'll have a lot of fans cheering. Hetrick has been the fastest qualifier in all but one race this year. The ATV Riders.com qualifying award could be coming to him today. He looks good, but don't count out the 84 here, Thomas Brown. He has been the third banana this year, waiting for that mistake from Hetrick or Wienen. And Jeff Rastrelli's had a good year, just saw him on that yellow Can-Am. The number 20, Josh Upperman, the veteran, can never be counted out. And Ronnie Higgerson trying to make some inroads toward the top of the field today. A couple other kids going to air it out. See the 15. Hey, Nick Janusa out of New Jersey, who is looking to become this year's Pro-Am class champ while also competing in the Pro class in some separate motos and doing very well. Number 40, Cody Jansen out of Wisconsin. Gives you an idea of all the jump combinations we have on this track. This section here, as Vital Casanave goes through on the number 5, we call it the Millville Sandwoops. And they'll head over to this big tabletop, get onto the next side of the track. And here's Sean Taylor from Montezuma, Iowa. 209, Brett Musick, also pulling double duty, Pro-Am and Pro today. And big air time for Tyler Hamrick on the 726. And the familiar Suzuki, Silas Lamont. Here is your qualifier results. Hetrick does it again. ATVRiders.com award going his way. So after qualifying, shaping up as another Wienen and Hetrick battle, this man, Thomas Brown, wants to break that up.
We're here at round 10, Redbud. Man, I'm pumped to be here, but we're sitting third in points, and you know, there's not much for me to do other than go win races. I'm looking forward to these final 2 rounds. They're good tracks for me, but I just need to go out there and win. I don't know what's going to play out. Second's got a big gap on me, and first is even bigger, so it's going to be it's all up to me just going out and getting wins and seeing where the cards fall, but I'm looking forward to these final 2 and hopefully getting 2 wins.
Okay, we'll see if Brown can pull the upset special again today. Moto number 1 is coming up next here on MavTV. Hetrick, Wienen, the rest of the boys are on the line, ready to go. Racer TV is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by Rocky Mountain, ATVMC.com, and by Amsoil. Yeah, put the gloves on, the helmet, the boots, get set, get ready. It's Moto 1 of the Redbud ATV National presented by Concept Haulers, Rocky Mountain, ATVMC.com, giving us the camera with Josh Upperman. Oh, and Upperman, a big bump, knocking Hetrick aside in turn 1, and that's going to open the door. Upperman, no, it gets edged out. Yes, Casey Martin is going to grab the hole shot as they head down the ski jump. I believe first hole shot of the year for him. Good job by the kid on the Victory Racing Never Sleep Designs Honda, leading Upperman, who's no stranger to the good starts. I think Wienen is back and forth, and Hetrick, as we mentioned, bumped as they enter turn 1 by Upperman. Has some work to do. Big uphill triple. Upperman here on the Root River Racing Machine, trying to figure out a way around Martin. Track's pretty rough right now, but not nearly as rough as it will be later. Battle on our hands for third. Wienen on the number 1, able to make the pass. Pretty sure that's Ronnie Higgerson there, pushed to 4th, who's fighting with Wienen. Got a big tabletop, then a left-hand turn, and then the next right-hander, they call it the Monza turn. It's a big, sweeping corner with a bowl bank to it. And Martin able to hold Upperman back. Now, oh, wait a minute, where did Wienen come from? From 3rd to 1st in 1 corner. Unbelievable. And now the whoop section, which is where Chad Wienen makes his money. These whoops are actually copied from the section we have in Millville, Minnesota, and that was a race earlier in the year that Wienen dominated. So you give him the lead by that section, look out. So the champ on the Wienen Motorsports, Walsh Racecraft, SSI Decals, Yamaha getting away, and they are piling in behind Martin. You've got Upperman, Janusa, Higgerson, Hetrick in that group, but look at Wienen immediately taking advantage of that pass and getting away as this battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th heats up. The red machine, that's Hetrick. He's already making moves, and he's bringing the Yamaha of Thomas Brown with him, and Brown gets around Hetrick and around Nick Janusa as well. What a race back here. Casey Martin hanging on for dear life. Upperman going to try to go from outside to inside. That's for 2nd in a collision. Brown and Janusa come together. So Wienen getting away, but this is a fantastic fight back here. It's still Martin Wow, then Janusa ahead of Hetrick and Brown and Higgerson. And what happened to Josh Upperman? And what's happening? The red machine of Hetrick making some moves. He's going to make a 2-for-1 pass as well, just like we did, to get to second. Stay with us. Racer TV is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by Rocky Mountain, ATVMC.com, and by AMSOIL. Hammer down for Chad Weenan leading this Redbud ATV Motocross National. Second place is Joel Hetrick here on the Corrosion Racing Hetrick machine. But what a battle it has taken for him to get there. And what a battle still behind him. Nick Janusa and Thomas Brown really going for it. A couple laps ago, they were in this same section of the track. They actually came together and passed each other 3 times, I think, in 2 corners. Let's get the stopwatch out and measure Weenan versus Hetrick. Hetrick, wow, almost overjumped that table. But like we said, these sand whoops work very well in the favor of the champion. Once we get to the end of this lap, we'll tell you the times and see if Hetrick's closing up, although the eye test says he's not. Weenan rolling right now as he's got that good-sized lead. Higgerson third, and then that Janusa-Brown battle. And these two are just relentless. Brown down to the inside, he's on the right. Gonna try to get Janusa. And the young kid Janusa learning a lot. Same thing with Higgerson in third. You run the pace and battle with these veterans a bunch. Whoa, nice double out of that corner for Hetrick. Those are the things, both little and big, that these established race winners can do. And they're learning right now. Janusa and Brown, Higgerson, Brown down to the inside. Took an outside line in the previous corner and made it work to put himself in position. And now you have the man in yellow and orange. That's Rostrelli. He's all over Janusa at this point as well. And I believe he's made the pass. Oh, Weenan just on fire today. And that has been the way he's done it the last few years. I don't know if he's the outright fastest guy every week. He seems to hold something in reserve, but as soon as his back is up against the wall, he finds a way to make it happen, and that's exactly what he's done in this moto. Looking down at the machine, though, with a lap to go, is he hearing something? Has something come loose? What has not come loose is his grip on the lead. He has actually pulled away a bit from Hetrick. So Hetrick had that great performance last time out at Unadilla, not able to recreate it here. He obviously rode very well to pass about 6 riders to get to second place. But this late in the series, with only 4 motos and 2 total events remaining, he needs to beat Weenan every time they're on the track, and that is a tall order. I think this battle is going to go to Weenan. Hetrick has to bounce back, and that's the good thing about ATV Motocross. We run a 2-moto format every time, so Hetrick will have a chance to extract some revenge. We will have a chance to maybe see these two go at it wheel to wheel. They did a few times this year. It was as spectacular as you would expect it to be. Right now, Weenan headed toward LaRocco's lead as Hetrick is through the Millville whoops for the last time. And he'll have to wait for Moto 2 to make this happen because the checkered flag was within sight. And the champ is here. Takes a big Moto win at Redbud. And that's exactly how this guy does it. He delivers when it has to be delivered. Talking on the podium there to hardcore Dave Derringer. See the results. Higgerson just edged out of a podium by Brown. But a great performance by that young man. We're getting ready for Moto number 2, a very quick turnaround. There's Hetrick in the black and white gear. Mechanics trying to keep the riders shaded and fanned as we get ready for the Moto. There's Thomas Brown. Restrelli going to run our Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com onboard. I'm Jason Wygant. Let's give it the call on Moto 2. Hetrick clears the first turn this time. SSI Decals Whole Shot Award appears to be coming his way, and he's got it. That was the difference maker in Moto 1. He had a similar start but got bumped going for the whole shot against Josh Upperman and lost some ground. This time into the lead, Rostrelli right behind him, and then it's Thomas Brown in third. And Brown already showing wheels to Rostrelli, and now not a good start for the champ. You just want to see Hetrick and Weenan mix it up every time they're out there on the track together, but it might flip-flop in this one. We'll see what Weenan can do, and there's always danger being back there in fourth. He's got to make passes And that's what Hetrick hopes, that one of those passing opportunities maybe puts him in a risky position, although he just zapped Brown. That inside line, headed toward the tabletop, is clearly the place to be. So Wienen third behind Rastrelli. And he's trying to make the move on the Liquid Wrench JB Racing Can-Am rider right now. No, Rastrelli holds him off for the moment. Hetrick over this big sand wall. Rastrelli's still there behind him. But if Wienen can make this move, they are close enough where he can make a genuine run at Hetrick down the ski jump. Hey, another good run for Higgerson, who's right there behind Brown. You'll see him pop into the screen here. Oh, Rastrelli, a little mistake on the exit of this corner. Takes a look over. Where's Wienen? Able to hold him at bay. Love those onboard shots. You can really hear how they have to work the clutch, the gearbox, the throttle to keep the RPMs up, especially in this deep sand that we have at Redbud. So Rastrelli still has Hetrick in sight, but he knows the pressure's coming. He's got Wienen all over him as we head to the whoops. Can he hang on? No! Wienen makes the pass. Stay with us. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Amsoil. Joel Hetrick letting it fly here at the Mountain Dew ATV National at Redbud. Second place, Chad Wienen made the move just as we were going to break on Jeff Rastrelli. Rastrelli now under fire from Thomas Brown in a good battle for third. Rastrelli keeps using the outside line here. Brown trying to move on the first lap of this race on him. Let's see what happens over the big jump. Oh, they're still on two different lines, so it's hard to judge who's going to come out on top. Oh, Rastrelli, you saw him look down at the machine. Something must have went wrong, and Brown able to squeeze him off. Headed to the big tabletop. That's Brown in third. Rastrelli and Higgerson, who has ridden the best race I feel we've seen him put in all year. He was third for most of the first moto. Ended up fourth. Go back to our leaders, Hetrick and Wienen. No change in the order there. Hetrick past the mechanics area. See if he doubles out of this corner like he was in the first moto. He won't. Now Higgerson is trying to pass Rastrelli. Diving hard to the outside on the 665. No, but the yellow Can-Am still able to hold him off of Rastrelli. Hetrick tripling up. It's a relatively new jump. They added it to this track a year ago. Whoa, little mistake on the entry to the corner for Hetrick, but he's got ground to play with. Higgerson, man, on the gas today on the Victory Racing Never Sleeps Designs Honda. Just continuing to put the heat on Rastrelli. That's the best battle on the track right now because Hetrick is able to put the hopes that Wienen had of winning this moto to sleep. He's not allowing the champ to move up, make up any ground. And in motocross, if you get a tie, in this case, they'll both have a first and a second on the day. The second moto is the tiebreaker. You can see Wienen still digging, still trying to get him. He wants to win this moto and win the overall. I don't think he's racing for points at all. Rastrelli and Higgerson still going at it. Higgerson on the inside. Let's see if he pops in. Oh, they bump! And you did not hear any lifting at all from Rastrelli. He just stayed in the power. That's what it takes sometimes. Move him out of the way. I thought Higgerson had the pass made, but Rastrelli lives on to fight through at least another corner. Meanwhile, Hetrick looking for his fourth overall win of the year. He can hold on to this one with about 3 turns to go. Wienen will have to settle for second, but that means they'll even up on points for the day, and it will still be a 15-point gap heading into our finale at Loretta Lynn's. But Redbud is complete, and it belongs to Joel Hetrick. The tiebreaker in the second moto making all the difference, and Rastrelli is going to hold Higgerson off. They're just coming across the line. Let's talk to the winner.
Moto 1, got bumped out in the whole shot. Came back to second. I think I was like 7th on the first lap, but I put my head down and put a hard charge on. Did what I could. Ended up second for that moto. The second moto I came out, ripped the whole shot. Is definitely what I needed. Pulled like a 3 or 4 second gap at first, and that's definitely the key for out here for me, at least. You know, being such a rough track, and Chad was on his game today, and I really needed that gap at the beginning. I also bent my axle on the first double down at the bottom of the hill, but you know, I pushed through all that, got a little arm pump, but still made the weekend you know, pretty great for me. I've never won at Redbud, so it's definitely awesome to come out and win the race.
It's a wrap here at Redbud, man. Great weekend for me. Poured it on right away, and man, had a nice gap and just kind of cruised for the moto win, and ended up the first moto. Second moto, came out of start, wasn't quite as good as the first one, but man, I battled right through, and Joel had a little bit of lead on me, and I was closing it up towards the end, and I could tell he was getting a little worked out there, and came out even this weekend, 15 points ahead, and going into Loretta's, just got to ride smooth and consistent, and you know, focus on that and just ride my own race. Thank you.
Went 3-3 here at Redbud, Moto 1. A little rough start, 6th or 7th, and man, I had the hardest time getting through the pack. Took me all the way until the white flag lap to get into 3rd, and then the second moto came out with a much better start. Came out 3rd and went to pass Jeffrey for 2nd, and Chad got by me when I went to the outside line, and then Chad got by Jeffrey and I got by Jeffrey. I mean, that's where we all stayed. Joel and Chad are running a great pace, and I'm going to go home and work hard. I'm ready for that heat of Loretta's. I'm going back to Texas, where be good to go home for a little bit and really train in the heat and be ready. I want to go out there and win and finish the season off with a bang. It's pretty much got 3rd locked up in this championship, and just like to finish it off with a win. So we're going to go home and work hard.
Speaking of hard, watch the hit. Hetrick gets bumped on the red machine by the white of Upperman, and that's going to open the door for someone else to lead this one. It was Casey Martin with the early lead. Quick passes by Chad Wienen here on the number 1. And the Wienen Racing SSI decals Walsh Yamaha puts him into the lead. Hetrick would do the same. The 2-for-1 pass on Martin and Upperman to get to 2nd, but by then it was too late, especially on this rough, sandy racetrack. The long, lanky Wienen is hard to stop unless you can beat him off the line, and that's what Hetrick did here in Moto number 2. He grabs the SSI decals whole shot. Great racing for 2nd. Rastrilli gives it up to Wienen. Then we had a battle all the way to the end between Rastrilli and Hickerson. Thomas Brown gets into 3rd. But the Moto win and the overall belong to Joel Hetrick. 1 race remains this year. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Wygant. Congrats to Joel Hetrick.
Hetrick, Wienen, and Thomas Brown, your top 3.